What impact does expectation have on our relationships? Have you ever noticed that what you expect to find, you often do? There's a familiar story that speaks of two families moving from their home in search of a new place to settle and call home. Although leaving for different reasons, they were both seeking the same thing. As the first family traveled and drew near to a community, they noticed a man sitting by the road. The father approached and said, "Excuse me, my family and I are relocating and desire a good community to settle into and call home. Could you tell me what the people in this town are like?" The old man looked at him and replied, "That's an important question to consider. Could you tell me what the people were like in the community that you're moving from?" "Of course I can," the father replied. "That's why we're moving. The people were not friendly. They were harsh and cold and didn't let us into their lives at all. We just didn't feel close to anybody there." The old man looked at the ground and then said, "That's interesting. I think you'll find that the people who live here are very much like the people who live there." "Thank you for the warning," the father said. "We'll continue our search." And so they moved on. Sometime after, the other family came across the same old man sitting by the same road. The family pulled in close to the man and asked, "Excuse me, my family and I are moving and looking for a good community to settle into and call home. Could you tell me what the people are like in this town?" The old man replied, "That's a very important question to consider. Could you tell me what the people were like in the community you're moving from?" "Well, yes, indeed. Our hearts are broken to leave such a great community of people. They were loving and caring and supportive. Our greatest and closest friends still live there. If it wasn't for my layoff at work, we would have stayed." The old man smiled and replied, "That's interesting. I think you'll find that the people who live here are very much like the people who live there." With a smile and heartfelt gratitude, the family said, "Thank you for the information. We'll stop searching and we'll settle here and call this home." The point of the story is clear. You will often find what you expect to find. In light of this, could I ask you to honestly consider what's in your heart towards your family relationships? Do you expect children to be intrusions in your life? Do you expect that teenagers will be disconnected and irresponsible? Do you expect that the relationship with your spouse will end up like everybody else's, on the rocks? Or do you expect something else? Do you expect that having children will give you an opportunity to grow in character and invest in a life that can change history? Do you expect to connect with and see your teen grow in responsibility? Do you expect to rise above the limitation of statistics and the relationships that you see all around that are breaking apart and establish and maintain relationships for the long haul? When we genuinely change on the inside, we relate to people differently on the outside. That may not guarantee that everything will be better and relationship will be healed, but it will set us on the right track to restoring and maintaining healthier relationships. What will your focus be? What do you expect?